So my experience is quite very drastically different from everyone's, largely because of the sort of stuff that I teach. I basically teach design and within design specifically animation. Yeah, so while that is happening, I'll just continue. A couple of points. Uh, I resisted recording lectures throughout this pandemic period. So I have no recorded lectures because this was my experience. That moment we share recorded lectures, the interest in the actual class goes down. Okay. And because my lectures have always been very interactive, the recorded lectures actually don't work. Because the way I take lectures is they ask the question, I answer, I ask the question, they answer. And the problems and the learning comes out of that. So no recorded lectures. Second thing is I had no idea about the time duration that is required for online lectures and stuff like that. So in our regular session, we have a modular course where we have one module which can go on for an entire week or entire 3 weeks from morning to evening. So it's not like one lecture once a week or something like that. So when we went online, I had no clue. So I continued with the 8 hours a day lectures. And my students have to go through it, and I don't think anyone had a problem. Yes, they got tired a little bit, their eyes were tired and all that, but they thoroughly enjoyed themselves. So I'll little time showing you things. So that is one film assignment that I had given my students. And I want to show you another assignment. I'll talk about these a little later.
Good boy, Cooper. Come here. You want the ball? Huh? You want the ball? Go get it. Huh? Cooper! No!
The first one was a film assignment. I'm supposed to teach them film, and normally I make these collaborative groups and give them a lot of lectures on how a film has been made, how you can use cuts, how can use different. Now this group, so I had various groups in my class. I have done this in BDES course as well as the MDES course. Okay, so and I had this group members in different parts of the country. So the assignment that I gave them is to make a combined film. So I have given one film. There are many better films than this in terms of the conceptualization and execution, but in terms of equipment, they're using their mobiles and stuff like that. So they don't look that good. Now the lighting in the different shots, because they are different places, are different. So they colored it black and white. And the sort of learning that they got on this assignment about film language online, I have not got in classes before this. Now, the second one is a course on acting and staging, which we use in animation a lot. You want to have the characters do acting, which in the regular course, if you see, this is actually my uniform in the class, shorts and t-shirt, because it gives me flexibility to do all sorts of things in the class. So I'll be jumping, climbing a wall, walking like different sort of people, doing dancing and stuff like that. And the students also are doing it. So this shorts are actually part of that uniform. You know, I was better dressed online. You know, and how do I do this course of acting and staging? I get the students to decide a certain animal and they have to enter the class acting like that animal, being the animal, so that they can animate. How do I do it? So I gave them a 10-sentence story and got them to do a film online, which they collaborated online with each other. So each student has done approximately 3 shots in this film, and they have collaborated with each other. Depending on the strengths, I gave them different roles as a director, as a sound guy, as this, that. And this is a collaborative project, entire film done in a period of 2 weeks, along with all other lectures and assignments that I have given them within those 2 weeks. Something I've never achieved in in-person courses in all the years. So it's really a question of what actually is the difference. Oops, sorry. So my experience with online teaching has been fabulous. Fabulous. It doesn't compare at all with all the teaching I've done before that, and that was totally unexpected. One of the things, of course, attendance. I had 100% attendance throughout this entire this thing, because all they have to do is get up, switch on a computer, and they are in class. Now I'm sort of going through a sort of future shock sort of situation where, again, I've got people who have either played games all night or they have been working all night, and so they are too sleepy to come to the lecture in class in the mornings. So that's new to me now. So I think one of the things for the first semester that you are saying is this motivation. And the second thing, for example, we've got this infrastructure in the department. We've got light boxes and we've got cameras and photo studio, sound studio, and stuff like that. Good computers where they can do their graphics and stuff like that. They had to work it out. They can use their mobile or some tablet, a smart device, or their computer, whatever is available, and they still had to learn. So the sense of self-reliance was phenomenal. I mean, I remember when I started, when computers and various things were too expensive, I created a light box out of a bucket and a lamp with a wire and one acrylic sheet on top. I made it work because I wanted to learn animation. This sort of passion I could see in this online mode. Now I've got students in the class saying, "Sir, light box nahi hai. What happened?" "Sir, iska bulb nahi chal raha hai." So, collaboration, fantastic. Now, it's so much easier to collaborate when we are in the same room. But so the effort they needed to put in when they were in an online mode was phenomenal, and they did it beautifully. All sorts of innovative ways of collaborating. Okay, there were less egos, and the bonding that they had with each other, even though they had not physically seen, was wonderful. Now that they are here, one of the batches now, the second batch is here physically. You can see the bonding between them. You can see the collaboration between them. It's wonderful to watch because I have not seen that for many, many, many years. So physical versus online, conversation, interaction, and immediate, we can actually talk, and I can be inside the class, they are around me, they can be doing whatever, we can have an acting session, we can have all sorts of things. So there's no bandwidth issues, and we are not talking to a rectangle. Like, for example, if I'm trying to show a walk, I can't show it in the class. This is a very standard thing. I'll walk different sort of walks, big fat man. It's something you can't do online because all they can see is the camera here, and I've got a wall some distance behind me, so I can't go far away. So these are all the things that we don't have in an online mode. No? Group activities are easier because they're all in the same place, and one person can hold a camera, the other person can do something, that sort of thing. Can still use the digital resources because nobody's stopping you from using it. So whatever you can do online, everything is available. So that's where probably the blended sort of thing comes. Then online, the internet and all its different avatars and whatever it offers, it made us actually think of how to use it effectively. And sharing online was a big thing. When you do assignments, a lot of them are physical on paper. The moment they have to submit it, you're basically putting it online. So automatically my documentation got a little easier. I had everything in front of me, and that was fantastic. So no travel to the classroom, so good attendance. Onus of progress is on the self. They have got to figure it out. Whereas now it's different. So this is what I thought, that this may not be the same if the online mode is a default mode. The first year when that whole thing changed, there are people who are saying, okay, I've got to do something so that I don't miss out. But then you get used to the mode. Then it can go down. So because now like not coming to the class is as good as finding your ways to not get involved even on the online mode. So probably the drop that you saw is simply a matter of getting used to. Okay. Lack of facilities promotes jugaad. That was fantastic. So here's my contextual advantage, which is very different from the experiences that you have shared. Okay. So what I teach is storytelling, which is already interesting. Illustration, animation, modeling, sculpting, stuff like that. All that has a sort of interest by itself. So it's easier to hold attention of students, to teach, communicate, things like that, because that's what it is. Essentially, it's teaching a creativity, technology, knowledge, skill, and we are lucky to have small class sizes. So like most of the time, I'm teaching around 12 to 15 students. And in some courses where all the streams of IDC are common, it's around 60. And that's also in an auditorium like this, so the interaction is very good. So online, I did not take a 60 student course because I did not know how to. So what I teach is very physical. So the lectures are actually performances. So that's very different, I think, from what most of you all have to deal with. And teaching by doing, either demonstration or what I have done professionally before IDC or after joining IDC, whatever stuff that I have done. And because of the sort of field that we are in, and personal professional experiences is something that I can share. That is, that actually is very critical, because through what my experience is, they know how to deal with various sort of issues and problems in their professional life. But perhaps I don't know how but not in my context. Some of these things can definitely be looked at and taken into consideration. Uh, I know that some of my professors were very good storytellers and they were very animated. So, yeah, so some of the tricks that we have, I'm sure, goes beyond my domain. One of the things that I still want to share is something that uh, we find I find very critical, which is not contextual, is inspiring students, whether through personal experiences or luminaries in the field or stuff like that. I just want to share this. I'll share it very quickly. Um, Influence the attitude towards self and society, which is again not content based, but whatever we teach, I try and get that ownership versus custodians in whatever that we are doing, developing, trying to do in life, and problem solving, identification, formulating. This is something I think is. I was a little shocked to find I have done my BTech in IIT, so I was shocked to find that many departments don't have the BTech project because my maximum learning was doing in the project. And so, how a project based pedagogy can be included is something that one can really consider, because the numbers that you all are dealing with is something that I don't know how to handle. So, there's one philosophy that I found very good with students, and which is also teaching the minor courses. So, I teach a course called Technology and Animation, uh, where I use what you learn as a technology in your department for the students and see how to apply to animation. So, overarching methodology that I talk about is a mile wide, inch deep, where any research in any domain, you think of everything connected, followed by an inch wide, mile deep, where you decide what is specific that I am developing. So that whatever that we are doing in whichever area, whichever domain is connected to a larger picture, which I think is something that has worked very, very well with my students. And they come back after many years and say, what you talked about, this thing has really worked for me. So, yeah, I think, yeah, thanks.